Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot, with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. First, I would like to say thank you so much to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of the journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you, and if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. We do things completely differently here on this channel. So with that being said, if the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything that you need. So let us go ahead and hop to your prayer, and then we will go ahead and get into this reading today, which is what is really coming to light about you. All right. My beloved source, this prayer is for anyone and everyone who comes onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. Today, I feel like we need that reminder that the seeds of truth are out there, even if we're not clear on them or not seeing them in this moment. It doesn't mean that they don't exist, and it doesn't mean that you aren't bringing that truth in this moment to us so that we can understand it, or at least in the near future. There's a lot of really low vibrational energies that are floating around right now. A lot of energies that are trying to put down the light workers. A lot of energies that are trying to push us back into a state of feeling unheard, feeling unseen, or as if we don't belong. And I ask that right now you give us all that courage that we need to stand in our power, knowing that it doesn't matter what another single person on the face of this planet truly does think of us, or how they see us, or what they might think of our gifts and our talents and our abilities, or what they see when they look at us. That the truth that we need to embrace is that it only matters how we see ourselves. And some of us might be struggling with seeing ourselves as powerful, independent, capable, amazing individuals. So today I ask that you help highlight this part of ourselves for our journey, not necessarily through other people, but in ways that remind us that we too can celebrate our greatness, that we too can celebrate our uniqueness, and that we too are beings at our core of unconditional love, sent here to shine that loving light onto the world so that it too has a blueprint to follow into coming towards authenticity, self-love, self-care, and the truth is of all our souls, that love. As these words are spoken upon this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho, Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right. So I was really called today. You know, I was stuck between using the Lantern Oracle cards, which I have here, and the Sacred Rebels, and at the end I was really drawn to the Sacred Rebels cards by Alana Fairchild. I really love this deck, and I felt like this was actually really fitting for this reading. Both of these cards are, and I will still be bringing out the Lantern Oracle in the reading as well. So that's what deck we're using. Let's go ahead and start this off and give it a shuffle. So source, what is really coming to light about my fellow humans? What would you like to share with us today? What is really coming to light about my fellow humans, source? What is really coming to light about my fellow humans? What would you like to share with us today, source? What is really coming to light about my fellow humans? What is really coming to light about my fellow humans? All right, so for pile number 1, what Sacred Rebel Oracle card will help us better understand what is really coming to light with pile number 1, source? is really coming to light about pile number 1? What oracle card is going to help us better understand this message? What is really coming to light about pile number 1? Thank you. All right, source, for pile number 2, what Sacred Rebel oracle card is going to help us better understand what is really coming to light about pile number 2? What is really coming to light about pile number 2, source? Okay. What is really coming to light about pile number 2? Thank you. All right, for pile number 3, source, what Sacred Rebel oracle card is going to help us better understand what is really coming to light about pile number 3? Oh, right off the bat. All right. Collective message. What do we have? The power of attraction. So there's a couple of things, and honestly, there's been a lot of readings that have come up on my channel recently that have been talking about love, okay? Attracting a possible, potential, higher vibrational connection, which is awesome, right? So, but I also recognize that not everybody's out here trying to manifest love. So this is the twofold message. With the power of attraction, it's just showing that right now what is really coming to light with the collective is your ability to attract what you are in alignment with. So even if you are, you know, it's like lower cosmos might bump off of you and spiral out of control because you're so grounded in your authenticity and you're so grounded in yourself, right? And of course we have to deal with those situations accordingly as they come in. But now it's just, you're unshakable. And this feeling that even when people show up to try to tear you down, you stand even taller and you stand even more grounded and centered in yourself. It's like, I don't question who I am anymore. I'm not worried about whether this little pipsqueak over here likes me or doesn't. I'm not worried about if that person over there is going to cheer me on or not. I'm not even worried about the people in my circle anymore, if they're going to show up for me when I need them to, because at the end of the day, I'm showing up for myself. Okay, and this really feels like you have brought together both the masculine and the feminine, realizing that to be a being of unconditional love is to constantly give love, but not love in the way that the world sees love, as being a doormat or just giving until you can't give anymore, putting yourself on the back burner. No, love is giving the authentic version of ourselves, the light that resides within, to others. And in that, we're able to help others find the courage to be their own authentic selves. And oftentimes there are a lot of people who have trouble seeing this as love because it's not the love they grew up knowing. What was the codependent love or the one-sided love or love that was non-existent. And so seeing someone stand very tall and in their power is oftentimes very scary to a societal construct that is built upon an illusion of love. And so there's this very much heart-centric energy. That's what's running you right now. And this is what's coming to light about you, is that you follow your heart's desires. Regardless, you're going to follow what you want to do regardless. People can make you, come up and try to make you question. They can try to convince you of old paradigms. They can try to convince you that the route you're taking is not a good one. They can say, oh, it's not going to have any bearing. It's not going to have any fruits. There's not going to be anything that you can take from that. But you've already felt the power and the direction and the guidance that comes with following your heart, not just from source, not just from your higher self, not just from your guides and your guardians and your angels, but from the whole of the world, literally unfolding to give you opportunities that help you align with your highest good and with your north node, which is stepping into you're out of your comfort zone, right? Stepping into your power is stepping out of our comfort zone. So let's see what this card says from the book. It's also number 13. So there's an element of magic that's coming in with this card as well. Something that's very superstitious, it feels. It's interesting that I'm getting this usually because 13 breaks into 4, which is strength, structure, foundation, stability, right? But 13, the number standing out to me right now, it's saying there's this element of superstition. It's like where people believe that you're magic yourself, which we all are, right? But that you're doing something that you shouldn't be in order to obtain the luck that you're obtaining, or that you're doing something that is questionable. They're not seeing it as you standing in your light necessarily. There is a group of people here who are trying to fill in what they themselves don't understand. So when you stand outside of a realm of someone's understanding of the world, they try to put labels on it, or they try to dictate what it is that you might be doing so that they themselves can grasp onto it. But you're far beyond that now. You're far beyond that. So there's that element of superstition here. It says there's such wonder awaiting you. There's so many beautiful adventures and so much magic yet to be. Can you keep your heart open to what is coming towards you without surrendering your experience of this moment by becoming too future-oriented? You see, there's magic in this moment too. There's something arising within you out of the depths of your being. In this process, there's a shift in environment, both internal and external. I love that confirmation. A fertility is being stimulated. This is your time to play with that fertility, to conceive, create, and embark upon the process of transformation with an open heart and mind. You may not know where it is all going to lead. All you need to know is that it will be wonderful and exactly perfectly what is needed. Beyond that, allow the energy of fertility, growth, and abundance that now flows so naturally and richly within you and around you simply to be. You are a big soul. And with that often comes big dreams. You might worry that you want too much out of life. Perhaps you think that you are only capable of small dreams. If you have this is another oracle. This oracle is guiding you to remember that there are stages of creation. A house cannot be built without the flooring. No matter how beautiful the stained glass windows you plan to install are, the walls need to be up first. Your big life dreams are a work in progress, just like you. If you've been working on healing something within you, started a new creative project, or taken on a new job or relationship, and feel that although you are getting some results, you are impatient for more, doubt that you can continue or ever find the zone or become proficient in the situation at hand, then this oracle comes as reinforcement. You are doing well. That which is worthwhile takes time to build. Celebrate each success, even the small ones. You're creating something of worth. Be patient, keep going, and trust. There's a special message here. You've recently completed a cycle or a level of manifestation and are transitioning into the next level of experience, like a big fish leaving the small pond and feeling like a rather small fish in a bigger pond. There will be getting used to it. Time needed as you find your way. This will add to what you have already done and bring valuable expansion to your realization of your abilities, as well as many new relationships and opportunities to help you go further on your journey. What you are in the process of creating will benefit from this stage of your process. Whether your creation is simply your sacred life path, a particular creative work, or an actual child, there is a positive and constructive energy that is unfolding for you now to boost this process and carry you further along the way. Do you dare to dream and to believe in your dream until it manifests, even if naysayers challenge you? Of course you do, sacred rebel. You are going to attract whatever is needed to complete your work in progress and bring it to fruition. Remain open to receive and trust in the unfolding of your life experiences. Do not turn away. All of the necessary elements are coming together. Allow this integration to occur so that you can manifest your dreams. Oh, I love that. I love that confirmation too. So there's a lot that's happening right now, but what's coming to light is that you're not going to give up. And no matter what it looks like, no matter how bleak things get, you're not going to give up. There's so much power in that alone. There's so many people, the minute that it looks bleak, or the minute that it looks negative, or the minute it looks like they're not going to get to where they're going, they're going to give up. They're just going to throw in the towel. You know, there's a story in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, where he talks about this family, two families. They bought plots of land during the gold rush, and they were both digging for their gold. And one guy, he struck it rich. And then the other guy, he kept digging. And he never found the gold. And then he finally gave up and sold his land so that he could make a profit. And the guy that he sold the land to, he wanted to dig for gold too. And he didn't know where to start. And so he just started where the other guy left off at. And he dug 3 feet in, and he was even richer than the first guy that struck gold right away. He found that much gold on this property. And so the moral of the story is, don't stop 3 feet shy of your gold. Literally, right? All right, so let's see here. For pile number 1, we have this dice with the moon. We have this heart chakra gemstone. I think it's a jade. And the heart chakra is Lam. I believe it is Lam. That's the seed sound. And then we have, for pile number 2, this dice with Mercury on it. We have the throat chakra, which I think this is smoky quartz gemstone with hum, the seed sound. And for pile number 3, we have this dice with the sun on it. Let me see if I can get that to focus a little better. Or we have the third eye chakra, lapis lazuli gemstone with Aum on it, which is A-U-M. It's Aum, but it's actually Aum seed sound. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you felt drawn to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the moon on it, or if you were drawn to this jade heart chakra gemstone with, I believe the seed sound is Lam. I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that right now. Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what is really coming to light about you. First, I would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you're new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel. So with that in mind, if the message does happen to resonate, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, Source, what is really coming to light about pile number 1? What would you like to share with us today? Source, what is really coming to light about pile number 1? So we've got the first house, Gemini and Pluto. The way you represent yourself is shifting, and everybody is recognizing it. Like, they can't not recognize it, because people aren't going to get away with saying whatever they want to you anymore. Not without, it's not even a backlash. It's just not without poise. That's what I'm hearing. Poise coming through. When people are really believe that they know what to say to bring a person down. And maybe for you, this has been a really hard lesson to learn, Pile 1, is that, you know, you were always a people pleaser. Like, people would tear you down and you would just clam up and close off. And now we see this energy where there's this shift that's really coming to light about you. It's like when people approach you crooked, you come back as a straight arrow that shoots them through whatever they tried to spew at you. It's just, no, it's not going to be that way. And it's not without love. It's not a cruel, menacing, or aggressive type of energy. This is a very clear, like, I'm not going to let you treat me that way. It's calm, it's collected. There's a lot, again, poise is the energy that's coming through here. There's a lot of class with the way you represent yourself. And you're not going to let people say what they want. There's also a shift here, and it's like, because you're able to speak up louder for yourself, your entire demeanor has now shifted into an air of confidence and an air of my abilities are on my sleeve. Like, I don't have to keep fighting to prove my abilities, my gifts, my skills, my traits, my talents. You wear them on your sleeve. And if anybody takes time to actually get to know you or speak with you, they're going to recognize that right away. And there's no longer this energy of feeling like I have to defend myself for what people aren't seeing, but also saying it's like, I'm not going to let people get away with it anymore. And that's kind of an odd conundrum, isn't it? Because it's like, well, how do you not let people get away with it if you're not standing up for yourself? Look, speaking the truth is a lot easier to do than to fight for one's ego, right? So when we're fighting for our ego, when we're fighting to be seen or heard or validated, or just someone say, oh yeah, you're right, I shouldn't have said that, right? That's our emotional ego wanting that. It's wanting to be in a position of being right. But rather, when we come with a statement of truth where it's like, hey, I've noticed that you've said that to a lot of people. My one question to you is, has it ever truly benefited you in saying that, in speaking that way to people? Do you keep friends that way? Right? It's more like a curiosity, or it's more like sharing knowledge, sharing wisdom. And that's what this feels like. And you're this never-ending, knowledgeable human that you are always growing and expanding. And people are really intimidated by you right now because there's no messing with you. There's no shaking you, right? You may have caught the collective reading as well. If you didn't, I would recommend it, but it's never a requirement. But it will be timestamped down in the description box if you would care to watch it. So there's definitely this unshakable truth. And I feel like that's because you face those parts of yourself that were in the shadow, right? Realizing that you don't need to be meek. You don't need to be quiet. You don't need to feel undervalued by others. Even if someone were to come up and verbally attack you, that has nothing to do with you. And you're standing in that power. It's like, you're not going to shake me just because you feel like you have the right to tell me whatever it is you want to tell me. And I feel like this catches people off guard. You know what's interesting, Pile 1, is that there's so many people out there who will just say whatever. They'll just say whatever. They don't care if they hurt a person's feelings, right? But then when someone is unbothered by what they say, suddenly it becomes this big issue. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't attack you and make you feel a certain way. I couldn't control the outcome here, right? And so it's just interesting how that happens, isn't it? But we don't often get to experience that because many of us are still stuck being run by the emotional ego, by our emotions, how we feel. Like someone, comes up and then suddenly we feel inadequate, and our inadequacies are what are now guiding the conversation, what are now guiding us through whatever it is that we're going through. Rather than seeing that we are adequate and we are enough. When we feel that way, no matter what another person says or does, we can show up from a very grounded place. And that's exactly what I'm feeling is happening with you. So I do feel like there's a lot of people right now that are just very intimidated because they can no longer impact your emotional standpoint. Yeah, and you're shining very bright right now. There's also something physically that's shifting about you. Maybe you're just changing the way you're dressing, or you've done something with your appearance recently, or you're losing weight, or you're gaining weight, you know, not in a bad way. It's not, you know, it could be working out and gaining muscle. You could be gaining, you know, shape or whatever that, you know, like getting more shapely, more curvy. Source, what is truly coming, or yeah, what is really coming to light about pile number 1? Thank you. Source, what is really coming to light about pile number 1? Wow, these cards. Okay, they're like wanting to fly off the table over here. Interesting. The 8 of Wands. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. You see all these points of these wands down here, they're meeting up with this. It's a lightning bolt, but it's also a wand, right? It's like they're all meeting up with this. And so I feel like this is you, the lightning bolt. You're now different than you once were, because it's like everybody in their misery, in their misery, everyone in their darkness, trying to make you feel a certain way, trying to get you to do something. But now you're the light that's standing in the darkness. That anxiety and that fear that was guiding you for so long, that worry or that feeling of not enough, or the feelings of lack of self-worth, the things that were your go-to defense mechanisms, they're gone. What is really coming to light about pile 1? Thank you, Source. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. Yeah. That's what I said. It's not malicious. You don't stand up for yourself in a malicious way. It's not ever intended to be malicious. It's coming from a very loving, caring, nurturing place. But sometimes people think that it's malicious when you're nurturing and caring yourself, because you know, there's this quote that I love, and I'll never forget the chiropractor that I had for years that helped me with my broken back. And he said to me, how can you expect to take care of others if you don't first care for yourself or take care of yourself? And he said, it's a quote he heard somewhere. I don't know who said it. Okay. But I heard it from my chiropractor, and that statement, the context that he was saying it to me in was incredibly profound, because I was definitely in a people-pleasing energy. I was trying to figure out everybody else's problems when I had this massive problem standing right in front of me. I had to heal from a broken back. Like, I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to gain strength again. You know, when I went from being able to do all these things to barely being able to ride in a car, to barely being able to sit, to not being able to stand, to not being able to walk. You know, I couldn't do regular house chores. Like, I had to literally go from being the one that everybody relied on to being reliant on everyone else, and not being able to trust everyone to do things the way that I could, because that was the environment that I grew up in. Right? It was like, if you can't trust others to do what you need done. And so I literally had to surrender. But when he said that to me, it made me stop and think. And I feel like that's that energy where you're coming from as well. It's like, I can't take care of you if I don't take care of myself. But also, as a stranger coming in, right? Like, you can't expect to care for a stranger, someone you know nothing about, when all they're trying to do is create a fearful, traumatic situation in your life. And that's what it feels like. And so now you're coming from this very grounded place, again, very rooted, standing tall in your heart center, and not afraid to share yourself with others from that grounded place, which is why so many people are feeling that sense of, well, there's a sense of jealousy there too, but it's more a sense of they're very intimidated by that. Yeah, the 3 of Swords, interesting. And the 4 of Cups. The dynamic has shifted from being the victim to being empowered. And a lot of this has come from your development with source and your guides and your angels and your higher self, and building that emotional foundation with what is unseen, right? Realizing that you have this incredible system behind you that's always going to back you no matter what. Even if it's not something we can see in the physical, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And for others of you, it's just rebuilding that foundational emotional well-being within yourself. So working on your mental well-being, your mental health has been something that has helped you build emotional maturity. And it's like interesting because rats are often depicted as disgusting and, you know, a nuisance, and they're a pest, right? Like they're known as a pest. But rats are interesting because they travel in, you know, like they live in their colonies, and everybody's helping out, and everyone wants to be a part of the greater good. And that's what I feel like. It's like you are devoted to the collective and you want to be a part of the greater good. But I couldn't do that until I started to do that for myself. And it's not from a selfish standpoint. This is not from an arrogant standpoint. This is not from a disconnected standpoint. This is literally the want to care for people, right? And didn't you choose the moon? And then we have the crescent moon here. So the crescent moon might mean something very significant to you. Also, I'm seeing a tattoo of the crescent moon behind the right ear. I know that's super, super specific. Also on the ankle or on the forearm, somewhere along this area here on the arm. But also maybe the crescent moon is the one that you feel the most connected to. Like that's when you get the most work done, or that's when you get the most magic done, or your spells work the best around that time. It also does show that there's that emotional healing. You know, when we deal with the moon, you could be Cancer, you could be Taurus, Libra, Sagittarius is coming in here, Gemini, Scorpio, and Aries energies are all present. I'm hearing Aries in the 12th house, Taurus and Pluto, Sagittarius in your rising and 4th house, Libra, 10th house, 3rd house, and 9th house is coming in as well. Gemini and Mercury, Virgo and Mercury is coming through. And Mercury in the 6th house just came through. Okay. So there's this energy where you're really, really building an emotional foundation with yourself, and that's what's coming to light about you. This is what's really coming to light about you, is that you're unshakable emotionally. When before everybody felt like they had control over your emotional well-being. It could be a lot of narcissists that are seeing this now. This could also just be people who, you know, it's like the mobile. When I went to therapy, my therapist told me about the life's or the family mobile, right? So, you know, the things that hang above the baby's crib. Most of them, when you take off one of the animals from the mobile will still balance itself out, right? They'll all move around and they'll balance themselves out. So that's what it's been for you. You've been a part of this dynamic with these friends, with these people in your life, and they've been the mirror of what you needed for yourself, right? Like what it was you needed to look at within yourself. But then what happened is when you removed yourself, there was this fear like, oh, if I remove myself, it's all going to come crashing down. But when you removed yourself, they just all moved back around until they became balanced again within their own dynamic. So it's like leaving them to that is what helped empower you. And it also showed them that you didn't need that energy anymore. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people never expected from you, pile number one. They always thought that you'd be someone that came running back to have that dynamic again in your life where they could control you and make you feel all kinds of way to make themselves feel better. And now it's just not a thing anymore. It just doesn't exist like that. What else would you like to say, Source? What is really coming to light about pile number one? And also, I feel like this is something that needs to be celebrated because this is a huge win. 10th house. We have structure, discipline, life, mission, accomplishments, and career. So also what you're doing for work is being seen. You're being celebrated across different mediums. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be social media or anything like that, but this could just be at work as well. For your career accomplishments, you're being seen as a leader. You're being seen as someone who is capable of handling the pressure of so many different things coming down on you, and dealing with disgruntled employees, dealing with disgruntled customers or clients, you know, whatever it is. Open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You're becoming detached in a way that is healing for yourself and for others as well. And it's just detached to outcomes now. It's like, I'm just going to let people be who they are without it affecting who I am. And I feel like that's something also that needs to be celebrated, especially if you found yourself being a severe people pleaser at some point in your journey. Women supporting women. It says, together we can transcend our individual limitations. So this is again for that collective mind, right? That collective energy coming in. Women supporting women. So this could be like, maybe you are starting a women's support group, or you could even be starting a men's support group. More than anything, this just says that you're realizing that it's not me against the world. It's me with the world. And when I choose to reframe that part of myself, I'm able to manifest people in my life that are on the same journey as I am. And that helps us both to heal. It's not one or the other. It's us in this together. And that's a powerful place to be, because so many people, you know, they talk about how selfish, especially Americans, get talked about how selfish we are. You know, it's like, oh, it's all just about us. It's me, 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 me. And that is absolutely a dynamic that is in all of America. But I also feel like when you're able to step away from that, focus on self-care, it gives you that opportunity to pour back into the collective from a full cup. And pouring back into the collective from a full cup becomes incredibly fulfilling along the journey. So we have Bobcat Spirit with life is a mystery, healing karmic cycles as well, and calling in abundance. So another thing that's coming to light about you is that you're becoming incredibly abundant. And I do feel like this is wealth, okay? I do feel like this is monetary wealth that's coming in. It might be a slow trickle, but it is going to grow. It's going to snowball. And so letting that process happen, there's going to be really, really good months, and there's going to be some not so good months, but it doesn't mean the not so good months aren't still worth celebrating just because it wasn't the same as last month, or it's not the same as next month. It's just reminding you that it's a snowball effect. It's rolling downhill. This is still better than how you were when you first started. But sometimes it's hard for us to see that because we want to see constant progress, constant upward motion. But I actually posted something on the community post today, which is Tuesday the 14th. You can check that out if you want to go to the community post. I talk about there is no upward or downward motion in life. Sometimes it appears as though we're going backwards, but truly there is only forward momentum. And it's all a straight line, like we're just going. It's not about time, it's not about any of that. It's just constantly moving forward because time takes us forward. But it's not about time. We have to step outside of the time dynamic and realize it's just forward momentum. Because today is not yesterday. And tomorrow will not be today. So we're never truly stopping in anything. And I love that this came out on the bottom. 22, we have truth transcends illusion. And that's what I was saying earlier, was that you are standing up for yourself, but doing it in a loving way. It's because you're speaking words of truth. And truth, even if it hurts, isn't a bad thing, right? It's like that question where women have always asked, do these pants make me look fat? you know, a lot of the times most women aren't actually looking for the truth. They're looking for validation. And this is just coming from my own perspective, okay? Something that I myself have done before. And it's coming out of that energy and realizing, like, if you actually had a true friend that was honest with you and said, yeah, those pants make your butt look terrible, don't wear those. Wouldn't you rather have a friend that had your back like that and be honest and truthful, even though that hurts, right? Like, oh, wow, I just picked out a terrible pair of jeans, like, you know, like, whatever it was. Now, I'm not saying that they're doing it with the cruelty, right? That's not what it is. This is just saying, like, I'm honest about it. Like, don't wear that. That doesn't make you look good. Let's pick out something that makes you look good. Like, you have good sense of style, but whatever reason, we just need to get rid of those out of your closet, okay? And for a man, it could be the same thing. It could be about a shirt that you wear. It could be about the way you did your beards or your hair, or even the cologne that you're wearing, right? You want to have people in your life that tell you the truth, not from a place of being a menace, but from the place of being honest and good-natured and good-hearted. Like, I don't want to see my friend get hurt when they go out there, some coming from a good, honest place. Now, equally so, we always have to remember to stay grounded in ourselves, that, like, if we were asking for the sake of actually getting advice, or are we just asking for the sake of getting validation? And if we didn't get the validation that we wanted, we're still going to be stubborn and wear it, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You have to own yourself. Yeah, we've got Libra energy here. Find your balance. You're balancing out the scales. It's not even that they're tipping in your favor, and that could be disheartening to some, but it's not about that. This is about finally bringing balance into your life, where it's just like equal give and take. People seeing you for the valuable person that you are right now, not for what they want you to mold to or what they think you should be, but seeing you truly in this moment. And that's balancing out the scales. Okay. I feel like I want to get one of these. What else, source? Yeah. Alright. On the bottom here, we have humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And you're not letting what has happened in the past to bring you down anymore. And I feel like sometimes, like, when harsh things happen, like words people say or the way people show up, the way people act, I feel like a lot of times it's much, much easier for you to now just laugh about it because you see the absurdity in it. You're like, okay, you know, if that's how you want to act, that's cool, but I'm gonna be over here laughing about it because that's pretty funny. Yeah, look, I am enough. You were born enough. You see yourself as enough. That's what's truly coming to light about you. Seeing yourself as enough, as worthy of the things that you're asking for, no longer needing people's permission to take action. Doing it for your own good. North Node. Didn't we talk about the North Node? Like stepping out of the comfort zone into wow. I'm gonna get there. I promise you, I'm gonna get there. Having a total human moment right now. But yeah, stepping out of your comfort zone. Right? The South Node is our comfort zone. And so we're stepping out of it. It says embrace your true purpose. So with the 10th house and the North Node coming out, that's very telling. You could have North Node in Taurus, Libra, or South Node in either one of those. Scorpio, Aries, Gemini, and Sag are coming through. Neptune. Get lost in the lavender haze. I'm not afraid to dream is what I hear with this card. Like, I'm no longer afraid to dream a dream and bring that into this existence. Gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Yeah, living in a state of gratitude as well. This is what's coming to light. It's like, no matter what happens to you, even if something difficult happens, like, you're still in a state of gratitude. I know this came up on another reading this week, but it's like that Akon song. God, thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Yeah. Anyways, I think it's Akon Beautiful Day. I think that's the name of the song. But check it out, read the lyrics, but that's the energy. It's like even if I have a hard day, I'm still going to be grateful. Why? Because I'm alive. I was gifted this day. I didn't have to be gifted this day, but I was. And so it's a reason to be grateful. It's like, I'll never forget. I remember way back when I first started this channel, way back, and someone's like, someone commented once, if someone's going to be grateful for all the hard things in life, then they can have it all. And I was like, what an odd way to look at it. Because it's like, it's basically saying like, as long as I do my spiritual growth, I'm never going to have to deal with hardships. But no matter what, if we are grateful for the hard times, we're learning valuable lessons. Because it means that we understand we can't control life, but we can still come with a grateful heart from a heart space. And I'll never forget that. That really made me wonder about it. I spent a lot of time in meditation after that because of that. And now it's so funny, like comments and stuff. I love when you guys comment. I love reading your comments. I love, how encouraging you guys are as a collective. And it just really warms my heart that so many of you are just so supportive of myself and of this channel, and even more so of each other. And that's such an honor. And so it's like, now I also can relate to where you're at, because the negative comments that do come through, I oftentimes am laughing because twofold, right? I see where they're coming from. I see the injured part of themselves coming in, but also it's absurd sometimes to me, because it's like, okay, if that's what makes you feel better, okay, let it be. And I have to laugh about it. It doesn't mean that I don't say things to it. Sometimes I just delete them. Sometimes I say something, right? But that's it. I feel like that's that spiritual discernment where you realize like there are going to be times when you just need to say nothing at all. And there are going to be times when you can say something in a very poetic, with poise, to come back at people. And it's not about you as a person, right? It wasn't about me. It never was about me. But sometimes we need to bring that truth to others. They need to hear that, regardless if it triggers them or not. I'm not in the business of trying not to trigger people, because that's not my business if someone's triggered. I'm in the business of sharing the truth that is on my heart. And that's all we have to worry about. And I feel like that's something that's profound for you, Pile One, is that you're now in the business of sharing the truth in your heart, no longer worrying about whether or not people are triggered. So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. Wow, visions of life beyond death. So you're definitely tapping into higher realms, higher consciousness. You could also be embracing like psychic mediumship, psychic abilities, having one of the clairs or a mixture of the clairs, being able to have prophetic dreams is coming in as well, visions. So let's see. Sacred visions is awakening within you. You are becoming blessed with the ability to truly see. Didn't I say that? You see what has happened along the journey, right? Like what I was talking about with the comment. Isn't it funny? I was talking about that while I was holding this card, is that now I see them from the pain. I see them from the trauma. I don't see it as a personal attack, even if that's what they meant. It just doesn't look like that to me anymore. And so that's where you're at. It doesn't look like a personal attack anymore. You see the truth. To see what is real rather than what appears to be. This is true insight. What was once considered consequential may be soon found to hold little consequence after all. What was once dismissed as an irritation or irrelevance may seem to have great spiritual significance. As mundane as something once appeared, it could now be worthy of absolute attention. The gift of genuine vision takes you into the being of the universal creator. This is sacred terrain, beyond logic, convention, and that which is limited in any way. The more open you are to receiving true vision, the more love you will feel and recognize within and around you. Something may appear to change form, to be shed, to be lost, or to die, but there is love within it always. This realization doesn't remove the pain of the loss. It does provide a way through which it can be healed and eventually transformed into peace. The vision of love, the truth of all that is, can move us more than anything else possibly can. If you've been wondering about your life path, or whether you should take action on a project, or you need inspiration to really move out of a slump, fallen into. This oracle brings you a message of hope. You will receive your vision. You will be graced with a way out of this stagnancy. You will be able to see things differently and more accurately. Any confusion or uncertainty you have felt is going to pass, and you will be left with clear insight. The stories you have been feeding yourself or telling yourself may end up looking different to how they appear now. They may surprise you, but the vision that is coming to you will be more truthful and therefore more freeing. It will be worth the shock, surprise, or the moment of embarrassment when you realize you've been operating under a false assurance or deluding yourself about the truth of a situation. Those moments will pass, and they are not something to feel bad about. They signify that you are leaving behind a smaller view for a more expansive one. They are a sign that you've outgrown your old vision in order to live in a bigger one. This is good. There might be a moment when your ego feels a bit dented, but sure enough, that too will pass. The additional guidance here is you are watched over by life and held in protection. Whatever has been bothering you will not be able to harm you. You will prevail. If you are concerned that someone is getting away with something or blocking your path and it seems there is nothing you can do about it, don't worry. The all-seeing eye of life perceives everything without exception. It is the universal mother with eyes not only in the back of her head but in every living cell of life itself. She misses nothing, and the truth of her vision will always be met with justice, mercy, and wisdom. So this is such a powerful card to come out for your reading because you're seeing the truth of the situation now, right? Realizing that you don't have to hold yourself back anymore because of perceived differences or where another person's coming from, or even in that old people-pleasing energy. And this is what's coming to light about you, is that you are no longer that shy, timid, meek person that you once were. You're now this empowered, strong, grounded individual that's coming forth with a true vision of who you want to be. So this is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little crescent moon, since it came out all across your reading. Leave the little crescent moon down below in the comments and say, I see who I am now, and I know that I'm allowed to stand true in my authentic, empowered energy. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything that you need. With that, I would like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Mercury on it, or if you were drawn to this smoky quartz with the throat chakra hum seed sound on it, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what is really coming to light about you. First, I would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of the journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing that time and space with you. And for anyone that might be new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is really coming to light for pile number 2, source. What is really coming to light about pile number 2? What would you like to share with us today? What is really coming to light about pile number 2? It's interesting. I really feel drawn to drawing. I feel called to drawing an angel number for you, like right now. So I still have to look at the dice first, but I'm going to grab that too. Okay. So we've got the 12th house. Okay. We've got Saturn energy and we've got Virgo. I didn't actually use this deck on pile 1, but I just feel really called to. What is the card that you want to come through for pile number 2, source? What is the card? Okay. Take a step. 535. Let go of old beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you. Prepare to step out of your comfort zone in order to grow and expand. Interesting. It just wants to be seen. And then look, I can't make this up. Source said you need to get a card from that. And then we have divine guidance on the bottom with 000. You're receiving guidance and protection from the universe. Trust in the divine plan for your life. Okay, so what is really coming to light about you? You have a gift, for sure. You have a gift, but there's an essence here of where you've been a perfectionist for a long time, and stepping outside of that perfectionism is really difficult. And sometimes what we have to realize, and actually most cases, is that perfectionism is actually a defense mechanism to childhood trauma. So it's just this interesting energy that's coming through right now where people are seeing you doing something that maybe felt impossible for you even a year ago or 6 months ago or even last month. This is something that felt nearly impossible for you. This has been a struggle. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, right? And it does feel it's like this could be a psychic gift, this could be an artistic gift, this could be a skill, a trait, you know, an ability of some sorts that's coming through here that's being seen, something that you've hidden from so many, or something that you have maybe just kind of kept, like, it's cool, I'll dabble in it and I'll do that and whatever, but now it's like you're opening the floodgates to it, taking that step to let go because it feels unbearable to hold it in anymore. And I don't feel like people were ready for you to blast the top off that box. But Pandora's box is open now. It's open. And you're letting yourself be seen. And you're not afraid of the struggles that you've experienced in life. You may be sharing parts of yourself through this ability, through this gift, through this talent. So the example would be like if you're an artist and you paint and you've had a very difficult past, you could be painting and your paints are containing your past and they're containing a truth of the pain that you went through in your past. And it's so emotion inspiring. Like when people see it, they just can't help but feel the emotions. And that's what it feels like here. Hiding in plain sight is what I'm hearing. So whatever it is that you're bringing is hiding in plain sight. And it's bringing a lot of recognition. And the fact that you're so patient. I feel like at some point, maybe patience wasn't really a good trait for you. You might have been super impatient about life. You might have wanted things to be rushed along, or you were constantly rushing things along, or trying to overload your schedule with so many things all at once. And now it's not about that anymore. And a robin just came to sit on the tree next to the window right now. So your name could be Robin, or robins could be very significant to you. Photography is also coming in. This could be something that you've wanted to do for a long time as well. And now it's just like, I'm tired of not doing what I want to do for the simple fact of what everyone else has said or is saying about me. 555 is also a very powerful number for you. And that's the number of change. So what is coming to light is whatever ability this is, you're sharing it. And that doesn't necessarily mean sharing it with the world. You could just be sharing it with people who are in your close circle, right? People around you, family. But you're no longer allowing this to be a block on your journey, like to block you from feeling like you belong, or to make you feel like you're not enough, or to disconnect you. This could have been something that you may have internally singled yourself out for, and thus life started singling you out because of that that belief inside, like, oh, I deserve to be singled out because I'm like this, or I don't belong. What is really coming to light about pile number 2, Source? Yeah, I feel like you're finally building a foundation based on this time of, it could have been forced isolation, but I do feel like at one time it was isolation, which slowly turned into solitude rather than isolation. And this feels brand new. Found the key to your spirituality. What is really coming to light about pile number 2? Yeah, I do feel like you guys are super, super spiritual. Yeah, taking action in a brand new way. This is outside of your character. Whatever you're doing is outside of your everyday character. But it's actually more aligned with who you are. What is really coming to light about pile number 2, Source? Thank you. What is really coming to light about pile number 2, Source? What is really coming to light? Whoa. Yeah, beginning again. You're a student of life. The 2 of coins on the bottom. That's what it feels like. The hardships that you've gone through, the twists and turns. Like, I don't feel like people actually understood some of the things that you went through. And maybe you've never shared a part of that with anybody. Like, something that you yourself experienced that you've always kept inside. But that pain is now becoming the fuel upon which you're creating. You could be writing, I just heard rap songs coming in. So you could be writing music. You could be creating rap songs. You could be creating, you know, poetry, lyrics, anything like that. It just feels like you're creating something and climbing this ladder. It's painful because it's covered in thorns, but it's also freeing because you're seeing again. You're seeing clearly again what's in front of you. And what is coming to light is that you're no longer, like, I really feel like you're very closed off to people. Agoraphobia is coming in. I'm not saying like you had a full-blown case of agoraphobia, but what I'm saying is like it could have gone to that point. And so now there's like this integration where you're trying to reconnect with people. Yeah, and you're finally feeling confident. And with the Father of Wands and the Son of Wands, like you've gone from this page energy into this king energy. Right? You've grown. So much wands. Son of Wands, Father of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. It's like the actions that you're taking now. Right? That's what it felt like here. It's like taking that step. So you're doing something now. You're moving forward now in a way that you've never moved before. And it is building confidence inside. Like you're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling grounded, but no, more than being grounded, like you're just feeling like full of life and vitality. Like where maybe before you were really kind of tired all the time or down and depressed all the time or just had no motivation to do anything. And what is shocking about this is the fact that no matter how hard it gets, you still keep climbing, you still keep rising. Like even when people are for certain that you're gonna fail, you never do. And that's just based on what they've seen from the past or how you were in the past. And that's just not who you are anymore. You're understanding your purpose in life, this gift that you have, this ability that you have. And you're not letting anybody deter you from that, even if there's a lot of different twists and turns, right? So we're finding that balance again. If you hear yipping, the dogs are dreaming. So I don't know if you heard. I think that was Angel. Yeah, she's just yipping over there. Rising above from the flames. But look at this. The heron is like crying. The tears are falling into the flames. Right? That's what I was saying. It's like the pain is fueling this creativity. So much Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. You could have a Sagittarius rising, Pisces sun, Virgo moon. You could have a Capricorn rising, Virgo sun, Pisces moon, Sagittarius in the 10th house. You could have tons of benefic Jupiter placements in your chart. This is a huge transformation for you. Like, and isn't it interesting, like, if we were to put this here, right? Like, if we had the cards and they were like this, that would make a lot of sense as to this reading, too, because it's like you're going from being young to being mature, right? Being adolescent to being grown. That's what it feels like, going up the stairs here, going up the ladder. What an interesting energy, taking a step, and you got this card, which is literally stairs. No one ever thought that you would change, but you did. And it could have been years into your life. Like, this could have been, you could be in your late 20s, in your early 30s, in your late 40s, in your early 50s. Like, you could have really already lived a whole life being one way, right? And now you're not that person anymore. And that's okay. You learned valuable lessons all that time. You didn't have to be who you are now, because it led you to choosing this path to becoming who you are now. But that's what's really coming to light about you, is that the struggle has been real, but you've transformed your life. The hurt, it's interesting because it's like the hurt has become a badge that you wear, not who you are. Like, it's not even like a badge of, you know, like, oh, I'm honored to wear this badge. It's just, this is the badge that I have. This is what I was given, and I'm going to do something with it. A lot of confidence, though. A lot of clarity for who you're meant to be on this journey. A lot of passion. There's something that's bringing a lot of passion out from you. Yeah, Venus, you're magnetizing abundance to you right now. Give and receive love. Find value and see beauty. So where once maybe all you saw was darkness, now you're seeing the light. Now you're seeing the love. Now you're seeing the beauty. Or once everything seemed just gray to you, you're seeing color everywhere you go. Right? It just feels like you're seeing with fresh eyes. And that's what's coming to light about you. On the bottom, emptied. It says the ending and the beginning lie at either side of the same door. You're feeling again. Yeah, I really feel like for a long time, Pile 2, you didn't know how to laugh and to smile. Or like when you did, it was just like a response to what everyone else was doing or what was expected of you. It's like if you were by yourself and watching that, say you were watching comedy by yourself and you'd watch that comedy with friends and it made you laugh because you knew you needed to laugh at these parts because everyone else was laughing at those parts. But if you watched it by yourself, you wouldn't laugh. And it's not because it wasn't funny. It was just because it just didn't, there was nothing about it that tickled you. That sounds so weird to say, but that's what it was, you know, and now that's changed. Now you find joy and laughter in the simplest of things. It's just like your entire personality has changed, but it's not that you've really changed. It's you've let go of so much. You've healed so much. You're not carrying around all that extra weight. You know, you could have had a narcissist father, a narcissistic mother. You could have had a narcissistic siblings as well. You know, and I say narcissistic in this case because when you deal with a narcissist for so long, you forget what it is to be human. Because they've spent so much time dehumanizing you. So it's like you're so disconnected from reality and the things that made you you. And that is now shifting, where you're now reconnecting with the things that made you you and learning about new parts of yourself now. Yeah, heart healing with the brown bear here. Take time out. This is that integration, that hermit energy I was feeling. Reflection on what it is that matters to you. And this is coming to light. So this could be the oppressors seeing you rebel against that oppression and freeing yourself, and they don't know what to do now. Pisces. Didn't I say Pisces energy was rampant in this reading too? Tune into your intuition. Yeah, you have a gift. It makes me feel like you have a spiritual gift for sure, you know, but it's weird to say that too, because any gifts that we're given, whether that's the ability to sing, to write, to run, to create, to have psychic abilities, or to have visions or prophetic dreams, whatever it is, they're all gifts. They're all gifts of the divine. It's something that Source gifted you with. It's something that Source uses as a way to express itself through you because of your perception, your perspective on life. Imam Koeli, make peace with the past. Yeah, you're no longer tied down by what has once happened to you, and that's what's truly coming to light about you. Everything that you experience is no longer the chains upon which hold you down or hold you back. And people are seeing that. They're noticing it. Wow. Loneliness. Didn't I say that? Like, it was forced isolation that turned into solitude, which has now turned into you getting yourself out there again. I know that I am never alone. Loneliness. There's a lot of guilt and blame for being who you are, and you don't feel that way anymore. Yeah, health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. You're now taking care of your mental health, your mental well-being, your emotional health, your emotional well-being. Like, these are all things that matter on your journey now, and that you know you have to take care of as you go. Okay, was that... Virgo? Wow. Integrity, reverence, and service. And it's interesting because, you know, Virgo and Pisces are the opposite of each other on the wheel. And you might see Pisces and Virgo come together a lot. Because Virgos keep Pisces grounded, and Pisces remind Virgos that it's okay to let go of that perfectionism. It's okay to just flow with things. It's okay to just be free. And Pisces forget how to be grounded. So when we get so busy flowing and being free, we get so caught up in the spiritual realm, we don't even want to come back down to earth. But Virgos will remind us that it's so vital for us to put our feet back on the ground. That's where the most power comes from. So there's this balancing out energy, which we also see with the Two of Coins here, this balancing out energy, right? With Temperance as well. The ability to integrate two contrast energies in a very balanced way. Melting mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. Yeah, so now you're letting your spirit self be seen. You're not afraid of who you are anymore. Accountability. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others. Taking accountability for yourself and how you're showing up. Be peace with Dove Spirit. You're at one with who you are. You're no longer trying to be someone else. And I feel like that's the thing. It's like, not that everybody was like, oh, pile two's trying to be someone else. Oh, pile two's doing that. I feel like it was just a natural part of the way that you showed up, right? The mask was something that was easy to put on in the morning, and it just stayed there for much of your life. And It became autopilot for you to act that way that was unnatural to yourself. And now it's becoming natural for you to be authentic to yourself. And everybody around you is noticing that. So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. New birth, guarded vigilantly. Look at this beautiful green butterfly. This is new life. Balance, number 24, which breaks into 6, which is balance, resolution, harmony, seeing yourself through eyes of love, right? Didn't I say you had seen everything in black and white or in gray at one point, and then now you're seeing color? And not all of the pictures in here are gray or black and white. There's so many of them that are so colorful and so bright. I mean, look, if you didn't catch the collective reading, we got this card in the collective reading, but just underneath that deck, right? Look at how bright these cards are. They have a lot of color in them. Okay, so not all of the cards are black and white. So it's just interesting that that was the feeling I was getting. It's like what you saw was just muted. It was a muted shadow of what it could be, because you were just a muted shadow of who you could be. And now you're becoming who you're meant to be. And you're not afraid of that anymore. There's a lot of confidence that comes with that. Even if people come up to try to make you feel a certain way about yourself, like you're just not worried about it anymore. You're stepping towards yourself. You're letting that become the fuel for which you create. It says in every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle, there's a time of vulnerability. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the full learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time, but the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be any other way. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there's a fresh new life emerging like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. This new life is in need of your attention and care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with interest and kindness. It could be a new idea that you need to nurture into fullness because it is going to hold special purpose for your life path. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of looking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world. See, and that makes so much sense as to everything that we've been talking about, that you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. And what was I just saying? It's already becoming natural. Wow. Let's see. Sometimes they have pair-ups with other cards, but pay attention or pay appropriate respect to the messages that are coming in for you, and you'll reap great spiritual benefit and emotional well-being. We don't have to be frightened of destructive energy. It exists in nature and in us and is a part of life. We do, however, need to be intelligent to its potential power and stay centered in our heart and in our wisdom to avoid its ill effect upon that which we are nurturing into life. You will not always need to cloak that which is young. Soon enough, it will be able to stand up for itself. But for now, your vigilance and care is most certainly required. This is that Page of Wands to King of Wands energy as well. Hug your ideas to yourself as though they were your new lover you cannot bear to share with another. In time, the world will be the lover receiving the love in your idea. For now, it is for you to love, for you to hold, and for you to observe. Only allow those proven to be trustworthy to support you in this, those who can handle the frequency or vibration of what you are seeking to nurture. Some may love you, but be frightened of what you are creating. Stay true to yourself and your creative power, and be wise as to whom you invite into your inner sanctum to witness this new life emerging. This oracle also brings particular guidance about keeping your inner sanctuary pure. This may be your room, a sacred place you visit, or your own body, into which you retreat into relaxation and meditation. Sometimes you will find that others have taken up residence in your sanctuary. Perhaps an argument that you cannot let go of has another living in your head. A suffering that has not been acknowledged and released can feel like a big old dirty suitcase of emotional baggage cluttering up a temple of space in your heart. It's time to focus on the purity, light, love, and compassion that dwells within you. Everything else will come and go, and that is just fine. But the purity within your sanctuary is eternal, and you cannot come back to it to refresh your spirit and gain resources to help. You can come back to it to refresh your spirit and gain resources to help you deal with the rest of the world and even your own darker moments anew. It will give you the peace, and spaciousness of mind you need to recognize new life and to compassionately but firmly denounce any intrusion upon which new life by doubt, fear, or sabotage. Yeah, so I feel like you've given up self-sabotage and now you're coming into this place of peace, which is what is really coming to light with you. People are seeing a new you because you're honoring the aligned version of yourself, which might have been something that was really difficult for you to do. Your comfort zone was to stay small, and that expansion now is feeling vulnerable and scary, but you're ready to take it on, Pile 2. You're doing a good job. I'm so proud of you. So this is what I see here for you today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little dove emoji down below and say, by tuning in and opening my heart to a state of peace, I am able to step up fearlessly into my emboldened and empowered self. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. You will find everything that you need. With that, I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this powerful message today, pile number 2. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with a sun on it, or if you were drawn to this lapis lazuli third eye chakra gemstone with Alm, the seed sound on it, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what is really coming to light about you. First, I would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you happen to be new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And we do things completely differently here on this channel, so keeping that in mind, if the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get to it. I did have a channeled message for you. It came in, and that was that what is really coming to light about you is that you actually know a lot. You know a lot of things spiritually, a lot of things from life experience. I feel like there's been a lot of people who've treated you like you are ignorant and you don't know any better, and that you're, just unaware of things. But I feel like now there's this energy where that is shifting and people are like, whoa, hold up, pile 3 actually does know what's going on. I didn't think they did, but they do. And so there's definitely a shift in energy here. And it's not that really a whole lot has happened. I just feel like it's just you recognizing yourself, that you own that within yourself. That's oftentimes when it starts getting recognized by people outside of us, is when we're not afraid of that anymore. We're not afraid to know that. We're not afraid to have that experience. We're not afraid to have that wisdom. But I do feel like there's been a time when people maybe didn't take you seriously or questioned what you were knowing, and now what's coming to light is that you definitely do know a whole heck of a lot. So for pile number 3 source, what is really coming to light about pile number 3? What would you like to share with us today? What is really coming to light about pile number 3 source? What would you like to share today? Okay, so wow, we've got the 5th house. We've got Leo energy, confidence, and being a leader, and we've got Uranus. Maybe it was your delivery method too, no beef against the way that you talk or the way that you bring that wisdom. It's just people might not have been ready for. It's very futuristic. What you were talking about is ideas that people weren't necessarily ready to grasp onto. This could be ideas about people. This could be ideas about life. This could be ideas about what's going on in the government or in around the world or with our cultures or whatever it is. It's just you have these very big ideas and these very big perspectives and this perception on how life would flow a lot easier. And you are a leader by nature. It wouldn't surprise me if you have Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or if you have a lot of benefic Leo placements. And it wouldn't surprise me as well if you have a lot of 5th house placements as well. So you, ever since you were a child, I feel like people really were always like, oh, pile 3 is the odd one. They're the weird one. They're showing me How to Train Your Dragon. You know how Hiccup was always like, everyone's like, you need to be less of this. And they always pointed at the whole of him. And he's like, but you're pointing at the whole of me. And they're like, exactly. I feel like a lot of people treated you like that a lot. Like, you need to be less of you and be more of what exactly? But now it's the shift. The shift has happened. Now it's like people understand where you're coming from. People are actually using your wisdom and your advice, and it's helping them and it's affecting them in a positive way. And I feel like you'll always share. Like, it doesn't matter what people say. I feel like you'll always share. But this is what's coming to light about you. Something shifted where now people are actually wanting to get your advice. They want to see how you would handle a situation. You could have a blog. You could be on social media. You could have, a platform that you use to share this with. It could be a podcast is coming in as well. I feel like you're starting to really attract your tribe. And because you're attracting your tribe and people are seeing that now, people who before thought maybe your ideas were a little kooky or a little weird or a little outdated or a little unusual or whatever, which I don't feel like your ideas were ever outdated, but I feel like that's something, an easy label they put on it. Now it feels like they're seeing you gain popularity and it's like, oh, maybe I should try it too. It's almost like, if you ever listen to the song, I don't know who sings it, but it's called God Mode. It's GODMODE, and it's like G-O-D-M-O-D-E. It's because I'm GODMODE. Yeah, that's the way that I'm feeling. I cannot keep that low key. If you don't like it, then leave. I don't see you, so be it. Because right now, man, I'm feeling so free. But there's this part where he talks about in that song where it's like, you can either hate it or love it, but bro, that's all up to you. And he's like, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, then this song's about you. And that's what it feels like. It's like you feeling free to be yourself and to share yourself. And because of that, there's more people who are asking for you. And that's now people who didn't believe in you before, who didn't see the value that you had before. Now they're like rushing in because it's like, oh my gosh, pile number 3 actually knows what's up. I wish I knew who sang that song. I don't, but it's a great song. You should definitely check it out. Let's see what else comes through. Source, what is really coming to light about pile number 3? You're starting to be celebrated. You could be a scientist too. That's coming in. Maybe you had an idea for, really bringing something within your company into the future, and they were like, no, that's crazy, and you're like, no, it's really going to help us. And then all of a sudden something happened where they needed you to do that, and now they're seeing the benefit of it. You could have invented something new. What is really coming to light about pile number 3, Source? Okay, thank you. I feel like people are just starting to see you because they didn't want to see what was going on before. What is really coming to light about pile number 3, Source? The Empress. Guidance. The ability to guide others. The ability to lead others. What is really coming to light about pile number 3, Source? Strength. Leo energy at the center of your reading. The Sun. What is really coming to light about pile number 3, Source? What is really coming to light about pile number 3? Yeah. Ace of Wands. On the bottom, we have the Devil. So it could just be something that you're doing for work, but I feel like there's a lot of people here who doubted your abilities, who doubted that you would ever do anything with what you were always sharing with people, what you were always bringing with people. It does feel like you're a very giving person. And not for the sake of getting anything in return. You never were trying to get anything in return. I think even before you weren't trying to get anything in return, but now that's shifted. Now you are receiving. But I do also feel like there's a sense where people wanted you to doubt yourself here because they doubted you. So it's like, oh, I need to make them know that I doubt them because they need to doubt themselves too. Because they need to realize that this isn't something that's going to go anywhere. But now it's starting to build and it's starting to gain momentum. And it's like when people are kicking themselves in the butt. You know, it's like when investors are kicking themselves in the butt for not getting in on the early investment. I hear that all the time about Apple. Man, I knew I should have invested in Apple, but I just didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And now it's like one of the biggest companies ever, right? Now, that's just an idea here. You know, Microsoft could be another one, but that's what it feels like. So maybe you're asking for investors. And there's people who are like, no, I don't think it's going to be worth my time. But then suddenly it takes off. And then those same investors are coming back trying to get investments in the company or in whatever it is that you're doing. And saying that same thing, you know, like, I should have invested. It was totally worth it. And you're probably really like, yeah, but you said it wasn't. But I feel like you never stopped believing in it. Yeah, it's like coming with total honesty. I feel like you're just a very honest person. You're strong and relentless, and you don't loosen until you've made a change for yourself. You don't give up. So you could be a Taurus, a Libra, a Leo, or Capricorn here. Aquarius energy is coming in, and Aries and Sag is coming in as well. I just feel like you don't give up at all. Like you're relentless at what it is that you want to create in your life. Like there's no turning back. And there's a lot of people here who are just surprised by that. Like as though if they doubted you, or if they showed how much they doubted you, that was really going to get you to stop doing what you were doing. And now they're seeing that abundance. They're seeing that growth. They're seeing how your productivity is being rewarded. You're now being seen as this powerful figurehead. Wherever it is, you know, this could be at work, in life, in general, in a community of some sorts. You have this power and courage to face challenges. And you're expressing your creative urges and drives and desires. You're not afraid to take these risks. Yeah, this is something to do with creativity. Acting from a desire, from a passion, and helping yourself move past something that was potentially traumatic. You're expressing that desire. Like all of these cards point towards some kind of creative energy. And I see the Ace of Wands that the lion is carrying in his mouth here, even though it's a rose, but it still just gives me that same vibe that this is the Ace of Wands. It's like something you bit into, something that really, it sparked an interest in you and you bit down and you just been holding on to it, hanging on for dear life, but with purpose. You believed in it so much, and now that's what's coming to light. Is your self-belief is manifesting in something huge. It's huge. It's coming to life. It's could be monetary. This could be a position. This could be actually moving up into a higher position in a company as well. But it has to do with your work ethic. Like, you never stopped working. You could have been considered a workaholic, but like, I'm getting like the scientist energy from you. You know, like from Flubber, when he like totally like spaced out his wedding just because he was inventing something. It's not that he was doing it out of, you know, maliciousness or to hurt her, even though it hurt her, right? And she just called it all off and she didn't even want to go that route. But it's like he just was so tuned into whatever it was that he was creating that time didn't even exist. You know, like he barely ate or anything, right? That's the type of energy that I'm getting here. It's like time doesn't exist whenever you're focused on doing whatever it is, whether that's gaining wisdom, giving wisdom. It's like time doesn't exist for you. You're literally in this creative bubble. And that's what people are seeing, and that's what's really coming to light, is that you get to tap into this infinite creative wisdom. It's a well that you get to tap into. What do they call it in the J.R. Tolkien? He called it the cauldron of mystery, I believe is what he called it for writing, right? But that's what it feels like, this cauldron of mystery that you're tapping into. You dip the ladle in and something new comes out and you just focus on that, and everybody is seeing that. And that's what's coming to light, is that, you know, you're not bound by or constricted by limitations. Saturn. Feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learning hard work and patience. This is that Capricorn energy. I don't feel like you necessarily feel restricted. Maybe you have, but I feel like your creativity knows no bounds. And that's the thing that you've had to learn hard work and patience with, is that it takes time to cultivate the manifestation that you want to bring into life. And so that might have made you feel a little restricted, but you're not limited in that regard. Like, you've always still been able to tap in, even if it's been a challenge for you to manifest what it is that you want in your life. What else would you like to tell pile number 3, source? Thank you. On the bottom, the unknown. Yeah. Knowing the unknown. Like, that's just it. Like, you're definitely tapped in to like the collective consciousness. You're tapped into source consciousness or God consciousness or whatever you want to call it, the higher consciousness, like higher realms even. There's this energy where it's like you trust that even though no one else can see the vision, that you knowing the vision exists is enough. And that's coming to light. That's really coming to light with you. It's like, it doesn't matter if you see it or not. What matters is that I see it. And whereas, like, maybe that was something that was, you know, disheartening before at some point. Now it's not, because you're seeing glimpses of it coming to fruition. You're leading, whether you realize it or not, pile 3, you're leading a lot of people to manifest their own dreams and to be creative for themselves as well. Also, if you're like in science, like if you're a scientist or something like that, you're going to be leading new minds down a new path in science or in some sort of invention in that regards. Let it shine. Yeah. You're just showing who you are. You're trusting your intuition. You're trusting the guidance. You're trusting the insights that you're receiving. You're trusting the downloads you're receiving. What else, source? For pile number 3. Whoa. That is way too many. Okay. Oh, those two. Okay. on the bottom of the deck, we have water. Let the feelings flow. Yeah, it's interesting with you, pile 3. Like, I feel like you are an emotional person. Not like in a bad way. I feel like you are. But I also feel like it's not something that drives you. Your emotions don't necessarily drive you. And so to fill into your emotions has maybe been something that's been a challenge. Like, there's definitely this element of just being so hyper-focused on one thing. And to heal from trauma, to heal from past, like, you knew it was beneficial, and so you've done that. But I don't feel like that was the main focus of your journey for you. It was all about what you're creating. That feels like the main focus for you. It doesn't mean that you don't feel. It doesn't mean that you don't cry. It doesn't mean that you don't get angry or any of that, right? What I'm saying is, like, it's just emotions are like a part of the process for you. It's not, you know, like for someone that is focused solely on shadow work, it's about their feelings, right? But for you, it's about the manifestation, and the feelings are secondary. For someone that it's all about the feelings, the manifestation is secondary. That's what it feels like for you, pile 3. And that's coming to light too. It's not, you're empathetic, like you're able to stand in a state of empathy, but I don't feel like you've ever been truly in this state of where it's like people could force you to do things you didn't want to do. Like, they could say all kinds of mean things that hurt, that cause trauma, but that never kept you from still tapping into your creative potential. I hope that makes sense. Balance. Yeah, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Like, I do feel like there's been some harsh moments for sure, but I just feel like you being able to tap into all this creativity, like creativity. Even the devil talks about creativity, right? So all this creative energy that's coming in, expression. Maybe now it's about you expressing that out to others. Like, maybe you were creating in solitude or creating behind closed doors, and now what's coming to light is that creativity is being expressed outward into this physical realm. I do feel like that's always kind of been your go-to, is to focus on when life got hard, you created. When life got out of control, you created. Like, that's what this really feels like. Yin energy. Now it's time for you to receive because of that. Right? We have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. Yeah, you're patient. You're a super patient person. But honestly, pile 3, I feel like you're patient because time doesn't really, it's not like a thing for you. It's not like a huge existence for many of you. And for others of you, it definitely could be. But I feel like you've learned patience through this process. Strength of vulnerability. The power lies at the root of perceived weakness. Yeah, so you're no longer worried about your vulnerabilities. That's what I'm saying. It's like being expressed outward. Like the emotions, feeling your emotions, right? Let the feelings flow. Like, now you're not seeing that as a weakness, but rather as a tool to help aid you along your journey. The miracles are endless. Yeah, so this is saying that what's really coming to light is the ability to manifest what it is that you want. You're focused on your manifestations, and they're really coming to fruition one by one. Descendant, 2 is better than 1. This could be you working with a partner, but I do feel like this is just recognizing the ability to connect with the higher self, or the intuition, right? Being able to connect with your inner wisdom. Cancer, soften your heart. Yeah, this really does feel like not being so unemotional out in the world, especially when it came to yourself. Maybe it's like you tried to hide from your emotions, or tried to put your emotions behind a big wall. It's like, no, I can't share my emotions with anybody. And now you're seeing that that's not a weakness, but it aids greatly in your journey, and it also aids greatly in your creative endeavors. That's what this feels like, pile 3. Loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people might feel like you're lonely, but I don't feel like, I mean, maybe you feel lonely at times, but I feel like most of the time you enjoy solitude. I really feel like you really enjoy your time alone. It's not a bad thing for you. You kind of relish in that silence. So we're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book for you. We're going to see what this says. Come to life. Painting yourself into existence here. You might have resonated with another pile. And just really quickly, if you spent all 3 piles with me, that's my Purple Heart Club. So leave a purple heart down below. I know what that means. And I want to say thank you to you and to pile 3 for staying around with this reading with me. So let's see what this says. 43, come to life. You are the most sacred of all sacred artworks. It says, you are bringing yourself to life now, and this is how it must be. Of course, something being essential doesn't mean it will always be easy. You must support yourself and have courage during this process. Your monkey mind is not to run the show. It might have a lot to say, and at times it seems very convincing, but it is not the one in charge. Your mind can inspire you with ideas. However, it is the real you that speaks through your rebellious sacred heart and is living your life, not the monkey mind. The mind is not much more than a swirling cacophony of habitual reactions. Beneath habitual thoughts, there is a deep, sensual, creative, and energetic awakening happening to you. It is so far beyond what the mind is now capable of controlling. Others might not like it because it shakes things up. Coming to life tends to do that. However, it is happening now, and the only real choice you have to make is how to deal with it. Coming to life means feeling, and we had that feeling your emotions. Yeah, this is something that's happening now. It's like you're learning to feel your emotions. Like maybe before they were that second act, and you were so focused on manifestation, and now you're recognizing that they're a tool for your journey. It might bring joy, but it could equally bring sadness, rage, or fear. It could bring all of these and more. Feelings will come and go quite swiftly when allowed to flow. You might need to paint, write, enact ritual, sing, or dance your feelings to help the energy flow. Don't hold back. Create space for yourself to do it. In this process, you are uncovering the artistry of the universal creator. You are honoring the sacredness of life by exploring it without restraint, and that includes the flow of your feelings. You don't have to do anything with them other than express. That's what we're talking about. You're coming into this expression, but it's expression out in the world, not projection, expression. You don't have to, okay, so you may want to analyze, or you may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're getting in touch with feeling. Learning how to access your feelings allows you to learn how to access your intuition, creative inspiration, and genuine internal guidance. These aspect flows from the same place and are often couched within your feelings in the form of emotions as well as physical sensations. The journey underneath the mind and into a sensual, emotional connection with your feelings, emotions, and body is for a sacred purpose. It is a part of your path, and you are one of the sacred but powerful minority that have chosen to come into a body and live consciously within it. That may seem like it applies to everybody, but when you experience it for yourself, you will realize that this is actually rather rare. There are plenty of bodies without a spirit really residing within, to care for, love, and honor them as a sacred animal. Fortunately, this minority is powerful enough that it can keep human culture in balance. And did we have balance come out? Yeah, on the bottom of the deck. But only just. We need every single one of us that is capable to be aware of the task, move beyond the mind and into the body. This is especially so if you've, to come into your sensuality, you will need to anchor your experiences. You may be blessed with relationships that are conscious enough to be interesting in your journey in a constructive rather than controlling or undermining way. If so, talk, converse, share. If not, then you will need to be more resourceful in how you support yourself through your awakening process, at least until you attract some more conscious connections into your life. It is likely that these connections are already on their way, just because you were working with the energy of this oracle. This is especially so... Okay, so they keep talking about other cards as well. But I don't think any of the other cards came out. Conscious connections, collaborative dreaming, no. Beyond the mind, didn't know. Okay. So, I mean, the message here is be alive, coming to life. Yeah, so that's what it feels like. It's like where things before were very one-sided. You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to go and create. If things get hard, I'm going to go and create. I'm not going to share my feelings with others. And now you're learning that feelings are a very powerful tool for the journey. And that's what's really coming to light about you. And even others might mention it like, wow, you actually have a lot more to you than what we thought or what we knew. That's because you're seeing yourself for the first time as the whole being that you are. And that's such a powerful place to be, Pile 3. So this is what I see for you here. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little lion emoji down below and say, I choose to tap into my leadership abilities by knowing that my emotions are a powerhouse upon which can propel me forward into my greatest manifestations. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It'll have everything you need. With that, I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, Pile number 3, stay human. Bye.